Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Mike,
I'm B.
and we're your average characters.
Nice,
So
nice.
never a dull week, is there?
Never. No, never, never. It's always exciting.
Yeah. Well, you know what is and I guess I didn't expect this, but at the same time
Mm,
it didn't surprise me. Um,
mhm.
a lot of the people that are being affected by these layoffs and
Mhm.
budget cuts at the federal
Yes.
level are veterans.
Yeah.
And
And they're illegal. They're illegal budget cuts too.
they're
So,
definitely illegal budget cuts, but
mhm.
it's veterans that are getting apparently the
Mhm.
demographic that are getting hit the worst
Mhm.
with this.
And didn't they go like more than 50%, like 60, more than 60% of them voted for Trump, right?
I think it was something. I think it was something like that. Something again. It's like it's the leopards eat your face, thing
Hmm.
again. I mean, they
Yeah.
and there's been veterans, that have been on, TV or social media or whatnot, saying they
Hmm.
voted for Trump and I lost my job.
Yep.
I mean, and it's
True.
not
True.
just veterans to be fair, but veterans, are, disproportionately, in government work.
Right.
It's like, they serve the country,
Hmm.
and then, I mean, it used to be, it was like, okay, you're gonna get a government job and that's gonna be secure.
Yeah. I
For you.
mean,
I mean,
it's basically
it was the
yeah.
least we could do,
Right.
for them, I mean,
But
and
but it
goodness
isn't
knows,
just
sorry, go ahead.
oh no no it isn't just like veterans like their job. It isn't like a gift that the US government gave to them. It's also for their actual experience, right?
Absolutely.
And that part they're not taking into consideration at all.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, a lot of these people, that have gotten laid off had particular expertise. And we're
Yeah.
seeing,
Yep.
I mean, it'll be interesting next week, and it's
Hmm.
something that we can probably talk about then, but it's next week is when Social Security paychecks well, payments are supposed to go out, right?
Yeah. See, the part that kind of confuses me is I the way that our government is set up, why is it that the executive branch has so much power as far as actually dispersing payments?
Well,
That's kind of a surprise.
the
Even though
executive,
they,
the Constitution does not, say that. It says Congress controls the purse strings. They're the one that allocates the funds.
Mhm.
The president can't just say, "Oh, I don't like this or I don't like that," and then scratch it out.
Right,
Um,
right.
and
But 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 apparently that's the way it's set up right now.
well,
Is the executive branch does all the disbursements, and it's like, wait, it should be Congress that appropriates it, and then and then here's the thing, Congress can override a president's veto, right? If
yes,
it's two-thirds vote. So, like, technically, the Congress is what determines how things are distributed,
yeah.
and these are already appropriated, and now they're saying, "Oh, hey, like as president, he can just freeze funds." And I'm like, I don't understand how we got to this point. That's where I'm confused.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, like, because the courts are coming in and saying, "Hey, what you're doing here is not legal."
It's illegal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but are
100%.
they is he going to respect the courts? And I think
Right.
one thing that's going to be interesting is a lot of this stuff has not reached the Supreme Court yet, but the Supreme Court did say that on the U.S. U.S. aid
Mm.
funds,
Yeah.
that no, he can't freeze it. But the court was
Okay.
divided on that
Okay.
with
Okay.
the liberals and Barrett and Roberts siding with them, and
Mhm.
now the right wing is calling for Barrett's head.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's weird
Wasn't
because she is not. She's
wasn't
the
Amy?
one of Trump's appointees that is not falling in line.
Yeah, I mean, technically, all of them should technically, go against what's going on because it goes
Yeah,
against the Constitution if they're originalists.
yeah. I mean, that's what's interesting.
If
Like
they're
some of them
originalists.
claim to be that way, but it's like, oh, but
Mhm.
we've got some feelings for Trump here. We're
Yeah.
personally not necessarily against what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a 5-4 decision, right? So five
Yeah,
people for eliminating the freeze, and then four people against it.
exactly. That
Okay.
that was the
Okay.
case, and it was. I mean, it was a loss for Trump, but it was a narrow
Mhm. Very
loss.
narrow.
And
I mean, technically, it should have been 9-0
yes,
if they're originalist constitutionalists,
right,
but they're not.
right,
Four people are not original constitutionalists. That's been proven now. What
yeah.
is it? Alito, Robert, no, Alito, what is it? Clarence Thomas, and who are the other two?
Gorsuch and Kavanaugh.
Gorsuch,
Now,
Kavanaugh.
some people have said
Mhm.
that Kavanaugh is an institutionalist, but
I
surely
don't
he
think
didn't
so.
vote this way at all. Because some people have, and I think some of the people that have argued this are like, with good intentions, saying like, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. They've argued that it's like a 3-3-3 court
Hmm.
with the
Three, three.
liberals,
Mhm.
Sotomayor, Kagan, and Jackson,
Yeah.
and then the conservatives, like the hardcore ones, Gorsuch, Alito, and Thomas, and then
Mhm.
the moderate institutionalists, which would be Barrett, Roberts, and Kavanaugh. But
That's very
only
weird.
the only one that's showing any swinginess right now is Barrett. And
Hmm.
but also keep in mind, Barrett was one of the ones that voted in favor of giving Trump unchecked powers,
That's
basically.
true. I mean,
So,
yeah,
will the
yeah.
court save us? I don't know.
Well,
I'm
one
not
thing has been
optimistic.
proven. One thing is definitely proven. The conservatives are definitely not constitutionalists. Those four are
Exactly.
not constitutionalists at all. That's
Exactly.
been proven now.
I
So
mean, this was
anybody
a
who
simple
says,
question. This was a simple
yeah,
question. Does the president have the authority to freeze funds that were already allocated by Congress? The answer
right.
should have been a resounding no from everybody,
Exactly.
like you said.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So it's just very interesting how we got it to this point. It's like I don't know how long this freeze is going to keep on going, but and then I think what is it? The Republicans had a new budget where basically the Ways and Means Committee or whatever, they have to take out $850 billion dollars. And then that particular committee, they really only have power over one thing, Medicaid, which means Medicaid is cut, even though they say, "Oh, there's nothing in the budget about Medicaid." But what does that committee do? Medicaid. So
Right.
so
Which is
it's like yeah, it's like an indirect lie.
a wet dream of conservatives. Let's take,
Oh
as much
yeah.
as possible from people who are already poor and make them poorer.
Exactly. I mean, the process is remove the social safety net by first removing Medicaid, okay, which affects a ton of Trump voters. Like
Hmm.
people don't realize it. There's a lot of white people who use Medicaid and
Yep.
they're Trump people.
Yep.
So they're going to be affected big time. And
Yep.
then once that one is removed, once you remove that one and you gut it enough, then you can go for the big head honcho, which is Medicare. And then once Medicare is kind of gone, then it's as Social
Social
Security. And then
Security.
by then we got like people in the streets who have no homes,
Yeah.
which I
Um,
guess is their mission. I see, here's the thing. I like for me, and I know for you, you're very similar. I'm a consumer capitalist, okay? And I think you're a consumer capitalist too. And essentially for us, what we care about is whatever it takes to make the consumer strong so that they can purchase power.
yeah.
So we want to
Well, we're
increase
we're demand side we're for demand side economics.
exactly,
Yeah.
but consumer capitalist
Yeah.
sounds better.
Yeah. I mean,
If you
I'm
say
I'm not a
demand
fan of
side,
the
people
word,
don't
but
really understand it. People
yeah.
understand a consumer, but they don't understand demand. So
Yeah.
as much. So that's the only reason why. So like for us, that's why we care about, hey, what do we need to do to make sure the consumer can consume more and at an easier pace? So the best way to do that is you do Medicare for all. So then they don't have any issues on, medical and all that other stuff. So then they have more money to buy whatever they need, whatever other stuff. and they increase the demand of products here in the US, then that allows, oh, sorry, that allows the whole economy to keep on flowing. So
Right.
like for us, that's why all the Bernie stuff work well with us because we care about making the consumer stronger
Yeah,
at the
and
end.
I think even some of the more conservative economists, at least the rational ones, and I know rational conservative, not necessarily don't necessarily go together, but even some of like the conservatives of like, couple decades ago, I think would have, understood that the purchasing power of
Hmm.
the masses is essential for a healthy and stable economy and society.
Exactly.
And now,
Exactly.
I mean, Musk and Trump are basically trying to make this country like Argentina, like you said,
Hmm.
a couple episodes ago, where there
Yeah.
is a massive amount of poverty and
Yes.
unemployment,
Hmm.
and there is no situation where such a system where you have, 1% having everything and 99% having nothing, that is not sustainable or stable by any stretch of the
No, definitely
imagination.
not.
And, eventually what I think we're going to start seeing, especially if, they, get rid of Medicaid and, a lot of the other, we're
Hmm.
going to see riots in red
Oh
states.
yeah.
We're going to start
Oh
seeing
yeah.
Trumpers,
Yeah.
burning their MAGA hats. I'll
Yeah.
bet you.
You know what? This is the interesting thing. They're thinking that liberals and, leftists and stuff like that will start, getting crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll actually be the Trumpers that are going to get crazier first.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, we don't advocate violence on this show.
Of
We are not
course.
violence
Yeah.
advocates in
Of
any stretch
course.
of the imagination. But
Hmm.
and the maggots, they have guns.
Yeah.
They've got lots of guns. I mean, I don't foresee if they get fucked over, if they've got nothing left,
Hmm.
and several of them, are, in favor of violence, to be, anyway.
Hmm.
Is it that much of a stretch to think they're going to take to the streets and be violent?
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
More than
I don't
likely
think
they
so.
will.
Again, we're not
Yeah.
encouraging this,
No,
but
of course not.
what we
Of course
know
not.
about,
We're
you
leftist.
yeah, we do not, advocate for violence, but
Yeah.
imagine like, you know, January 6th, like imagine that, in the
Hmm.
streets, of, various red states where,
Yep.
these people have been, I mean, they voted, for Trump, but they were getting fucked over. And,
Yep.
this is in like, psychology and everything. Like,
Hmm.
when the chips are down, for a lot of people, and all that matters, is your own survival.
Yeah.
The people will do what it takes to survive.
Extreme measures.
Yeah.
They go extreme.
And
And
I hope it
here's
doesn't come to that. I hope
yeah,
that, there's been, some
yeah,
pushback, with,
right.
Trump, told the State Departments, or sorry,
Yeah,
yeah, his cabinet folks,
right.
um, you guys are in charge of the hiring and firing, not Elon Musk. I mean,
That's called
he reversed
covering.
course on that.
Well, the thing is that he's trying to cover for Elon basically.
Yeah.
Like because the thing is the courts are going to go after Elon next. That's the
Yeah. And
whole
Elon
thing.
doesn't have the protection that Trump
Exactly.
does.
Exactly. Exactly. He's not Teflon.
No.
He's
And,
not Teflon down.
I mean,
Mhm.
his aspirations, may be about to blow up like that Tesla rocket.
Yeah. Did you see what happened? They're like what do you call it? Over in like different states or whatever. They're like right now Tesla is going downhill fast. Like I heard like in Germany more than 70% sales down in Germany. Okay. And then in Australia, same thing. And in other parts of the EU and even here in the US, I think it's starting to go down big time. So it's not too far to say that after a year or two, we might actually see that one billionaire become a millionaire. So that'll be nice.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I don't know if
Hmm.
this is accurate, but I have seen, some stuff online suggesting that if Tesla were to go bankrupt,
Hmm.
Elon is done for.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
That sounds
because he's
awesome.
got so much of his portfolio invested in that, and he's
In
not.
Tesla.
Yeah, And imagine that, like
Hmm.
you said, a billionaire being turned into a millionaire.
Millionaire. That'd be awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's that's what we need. We
And
need more of that.
if he doesn't get much, if he doesn't get enough pushback here, he's getting,
Hmm.
like you said, you mentioned Germany, he's getting pushback all over the world.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, pretty much even in I don't know if you've seen this, but like in Canada, they're proposing more than 100% tariff on any Teslas that come into Canada.
Good. Make it
I'm cool with that.
200%.
More than 100%. I'm like, sweet, let's
Yeah.
do it. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but okay, like this week was a bunch of stupid stuff that happened like every other week. It's basically like another Tuesday, you know. That's pretty much what it is. And like Trump did the tariffs, right? And then he reversed course for like both Canada and Mexico. But you know what happened? Canada's like, you know what, we're going to keep our retaliatory tariffs until you actually make this stuff permanent. We can't go through the seesaw business.
Right.
So, and I got to my hats off to Canada for standing their ground. And
Yeah.
actually, I mean, they took this threat seriously because he kept on saying 51st state and all this other stupid stuff. So they took it seriously, and they're like, you know what? We don't need American products. That's why they're having closer relationships with European Union, and now they're probably going to have closer relationship with China. I mean,
Hmm.
really, the benefactor of all of this tariff stuff for all your Trump voters is China.
Yep.
China is winning.
Yep.
You are losing. America is losing big time.
Yeah. I mean, they are likely, to come out. I mean, if not, assuming the status quo, remains, they are
Hmm.
likely to come out as the dominant economic
Yes,
force in the world
for
over
sure.
us.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. He's doing this. There's got to be a hidden reason for this. I wonder if he's making money from the market going down and then he's doing shorts or something. That's what I'm kind of contemplating. I'm like, there's got to be some weird thing going on.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because some of the other left-wing media have been talking about is Trump deliberately trying to
Mm,
crash the economy.
yeah.
And if you take a look at like what happened in the house during the housing crisis,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the economy tanked, and
Yes.
then we had a huge bailout
Yes.
for the banks.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe he's looking at that and saying like, okay, we'll crash the economy,
Yeah.
sending more people into poverty, sending more people into
Right.
poverty, and then we're gonna buy up. Like they're gonna have to sell their houses or they'll lose their houses, or whatever.
Right.
We'll buy up that land at pennies on the
For cheap.
dollar. There'll be a bailout again for the banks and the buddies of Musk and Zuckerberg and all those billionaires. And it's just like it'll be
Hmm.
another money grab. And then they'll
Yeah.
have, even more. And if they know the economy, I mean, here's a if you're an insider trader and
Hmm.
the economy is going to collapse, and you may even
Yeah.
know the
Yeah.
certain day when it's going to happen,
Yeah.
say, oh, I'm going
Yeah.
to short my stock.
Yeah, and then you make a boatload of money. So
Exactly.
I'm kind of contemplating what you're thinking. I think it's not that Trump is doing this out of his own like mental capabilities. I think it's other people behind the scenes
Mhm.
that are basically telling him what to do.
Yeah, I mean, he likes being in the spotlight, but he doesn't like
Mhm.
doing any actual work.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not. But I wonder who that other people are behind that are making him do all of these pretty much insane stuff. So
Well, it's the
so
buddy, it's the tech bros, I think it's people like
possibly.
Musk
I mean,
and
they
Bezos
did
and
do a crypto
Zuckerberg.
conference in the White House, so I don't know what greatness that comes out of that, but
What
you
greenhouse
know,
comes out of what?
they had a crypto conference at the White House on Friday. I don't know what greatness is going to come out of that, to be honest.
Bunch of people getting scammed and a few people making money.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I don't know what's right and wrong anymore as far as when it comes to economy and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Okay, if like right now, scamming is great again, apparently. So, like, if you scam people, that means you're doing what you should do for business, and it's just like, but based on what we learned in college and in high school and just in school in general. And even if you go to religious school, cheating is bad, right? So apparently, according to now, it's not. So it's just very confusing right now.
It reminds me of that line from oh, what's that movie with Michael Douglas? Um, Wall Street,
Oh yeah, greed
where
is
he
good.
says, and then there's a sequel to it, and in the sequel
Yeah.
he says, greed is not only good, it's
Uh-huh.
legal now.
It's legal. Yeah. So I mean, I totally understand what you're saying about that. Greed is definitely, whatever's there, but there should be some type of moral on how you actually get to, get money, right? So,
Mhm.
but apparently I don't know. It seems like as if that's not the case anymore,
In
you know?
terms of like passing progressive policies,
Hmm.
there's always been like this effort to appeal to better angels, to appeal to morals, to appeal to
Hmm.
like, try to get people to be like, hey, you may be all right, but there's other people that are suffering right now. And what we have right now is an oligarchy who doesn't really give a shit about anybody
Yeah.
but themselves. Um,
Yeah.
and so when you
I
talk
mean,
about
mhm.
taking the moral high ground, for
Mhm.
them, there is no
Moral.
morality.
Yeah.
And some people, because you'd mentioned consumer capitalism, some people, have made the argument that one of the reasons that capitalism, has been a disaster, particularly here,
Mm.
has been there are no morals
Yeah.
associated with capitalism. It is
Right.
an amoral system. And they would say, like, okay, it's not necessarily bad or good. And we have countries that, have, more compassionate capitalism, than we
Hmm.
do, like the social democracies of the Scandinavian
Right.
countries.
Right.
We took capitalism to like an extreme that
Basically, basically what Sarah Palin calls crony capitalism. That's what
yeah,
we have,
yeah. I
you
mean, it would
know?
make Adam Smith, turn in his
Mhm.
grave, what
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
seen here. I mean, he envisioned,
yeah.
I mean, maybe naively or whatever, but he envisioned a world where
Hmm.
everybody would have the opportunity to become a millionaire. Everybody would have the opportunity to, um, make as much money as they wanted, and all
Right.
that. But I don't think he ever imagined the system being that people who would make that amount of money would then rig it so that
So
nobody
then it's
else could
even
do it,
worse.
so that
Yeah,
nobody else could, achieve what they have
right.
achieved.
I mean, in my opinion, this is just me as a leftist, uh, it matters more about destroying poverty than anything else. I mean, like when you do whatever it takes to destroy poverty, the chance of crime becomes very negligible, you know? And because people aren't going to steal if they don't have to,
Right.
right?
It's funny. This is something I remember from sociology and
Mhm.
criminology
There you
in my,
go.
previous life. Here's something
Yeah.
interesting. Socioeconomic status is one of the worst predictors of
Hmm.
criminal behavior. And the
Hmm.
reason is because people commit different crimes for different reasons. You've
Right.
got, those that, are impoverished, may be more prone to, robbery or burglary, or
Hmm.
something of that nature. But robbery and burglary there's version of that as white collar crime.
Hmm.
Like what
Right.
the people are doing right now at the top.
Mm.
They're billionaires, and everything that Elon Musk in particular, everything that they're doing is 100% illegal.
Right,
So
right, right.
it's like there are people who, like you said, those that are impoverished, will, steal because they have no choice, you know.
Hmm.
But those like at the top, you know, they steal all the time.
Right.
They do scams, like you had said. And
Trump meme coins.
when you take a look at like some of the research,
Yeah.
those two things like white collar crime and I guess I don't know if you call it blue collar crime,
Hmm. Yeah.
but though you put them in the same sample set and they cancel each other out, and so you see,
Right.
oh, actually, everybody commits crime, They just commit different types of crime and for different
Mhm.
reasons.
But
And
it is
sometimes they
it
get away, and certain people get away
right.
with it, and certain people don't.
But like I'm curious about this. The connection between like in I mean, based on, what you were stating, white collar crime creates more of a chance of basically other collared crime, correct?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So
So,
you
and
you
that's what we're witnessing, right?
you have the people at the top
Hmm.
decreasing the purchasing power of the people at the bottom, pushing them even
Hmm.
further to the bottom, and
Yeah.
pushing them to do things that they otherwise wouldn't do.
Right, right. And here's the thing though, when it comes to the other collared crimes, like not the white collar, but the other collared crimes,
Yeah.
we'll just call it other for now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the appropriate term for it is.
Yeah.
I should know this, having studied criminology, but I'm blocking on the
Right.
term.
Right. But I mean, those other colored crimes, let's say you commit a robbery, the chance of you killing somebody is very high. Murder is possible.
Hmm.
A homicide is possible. That's
Yeah,
the thing. Those kind of physical crimes that you can actually see, like the white collar crimes are tougher to see. You have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to figure it out and see where it is.
well, you want to talk
Blue
about a
collar.
big time white collar crime that kills
Hmm.
people. The health
Hmm.
insurance industry denying
Oh,
claims for people. I
100%.
mean, they
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
responsible for more, they are responsible for a huge
More
amount of
deaths.
deaths.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. But like it's not as easily seen as like let's say somebody goes and robs a bank and then shoots
Yeah,
somebody,
right. I mean,
right?
that's what the mainstream media focuses on. Wouldn't it
Right.
be nice, if they, actually, tried to, get some interviews, from CEOs and chase them, out of their office and be like, do you have any comments, on this? Why did you deny that claim? Like,
Yeah,
wouldn't it be nice, if the mainstream
that'd be
media,
great.
held these murderers
Yes.
accountable?
Yes. 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 So true. I mean it's amazing how it's set up right now. It's like we are in white collared crime to a massive degree. I mean, it's like on steroids right now. It's
Mhm.
insane, you know? So I mean, that's why I'm hoping that all this stuff is reversible, but what do you think? Do you think it's reversible
So the only thing that gives me
after
some
4 years?
hope, say
Yeah.
what?
After 4 years
There's
or
only one
whatever
thing that
number of
gives
years?
me some hope.
Uh,
Um, if there's any historical precedent,
hmm.
the last time we had, this much income inequality,
Hmm.
ultimately the stock market crashed in
Hmm.
29, and then we did usher in a very progressive era. So I don't
Hmm.
know who that would be at this point,
Yeah.
to
Right.
take back, but there's going to be a lot of work to do. But who
Hmm.
knows? I mean, maybe if they wreck things, so much, and we, are able to elect genuine progressive, not just to the
Hmm.
presidency, but elsewhere. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get universal health care. I mean, maybe we'll
It's
be in
possible.
such a, you know, situation where be like, okay, now we're going to listen to Bernie. It's like
Yeah.
now we're going to have
Yeah.
universal health care. Now we're going to have a livable wage. Now we're going to have universal education. All that
Right.
stuff. Now, do I think that it's possible? Maybe, but we've got to somehow
Yeah.
survive, these, 4 years. We've got to make sure that our elections are protected.
Hmm.
Sure.
If
Um,
we have free and fair elections, that's the question
yeah,
in
I
2026. I
think
don't
that
know.
is the major variable that is
Hmm.
still in question. Um,
Right.
I just got the 10-minute warning,
Okay. Okay.
because and there's one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
What did
ahead.
you
Go ahead.
think of the Democratic response to Trump's um, speech to Congress?
I thought the one that Bernie did was good. That one had more than 2 million views within, I think it was like 10 hours or whatever. And then
Hmm.
Alyssa Slotkin only had less than 200,000. So I think the Bernie response is more what people are looking for.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but Tim Walz has been doing some good stuff lately,
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
I wonder, is
Hmm.
he gonna throw his hat in the ring in 2028.
Maybe.
A lot of the
Yes.
people I've talked to have said he's done for. Um,
I don't think so.
but
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think, he's come out of the woodwork. He's,
Yes.
he's promoting progressive policy. He's being, being rightly so very critical of the
Mhm.
Trump administration. He's also admitted some of the stuff that they did wrong
Yes. And here's the thing.
in the
A
campaign.
lot of those faults of what happened in the Kamala campaign is the Biden consultants.
Yeah.
They basically muzzled Tim Walz when he was on fire.
Yeah. I mean, Walz
Why
was
would
the
you do
best thing that
that?
could have happened to that campaign.
Yeah.
And they
You
put it,
need
and they,
Tim
say,
Walz
no, sit down
unleashed.
and shut up.
Yeah, you need Tim Walz unleashed. That's what
Yeah.
you need. And that was one of the good things that Kamala did was that she chose Tim Walz. But the worst thing that she did was she had the stupid Biden consultants. The
Yeah.
Biden consultants should all be fired. Every single one of them should never get a job again.
Yeah.
They are a pariah
Yeah.
upon America, 100%.
And they were just looking out for themselves. They
Yeah,
didn't see
100%.
they didn't see
Yeah.
the bigger picture. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
they were the
I
worst.
distinctly remember this. When she picked Tim Walz, her
Mhm.
popularity skyrocketed.
Through the roof, through the
Skyrocketed. I
roof.
mean, the only other thing she could have done that might have made her numbers even go up is if she had picked Bernie for her
Yeah,
running mate. But
true, true, true,
and so yeah,
true.
I mean, if Walz were to run in 2028, I'd vote for him. I
I'd
have
be
no
cool with
trouble getting
that.
behind him.
I'm cool with that. I
Yeah.
mean, of course, I would love it if it was Jon Stewart. Don't get me wrong,
Oh yeah,
but the
Jon
chance of
Stewart's
Jon
awesome.
Stewart going is like slim to none. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think
Yeah,
he's going to do it. But Tim Walz, definite, definite. I
yeah,
mean, he's just take everything that Tim Walz did in Minnesota, do that to the country. That's it. That's all you got to do, and then you're good. You
you know, it would
know?
be a really
So.
awesome ticket.
Mhm.
Walls with AOC.
That would be good. I'm down with that.
That would be or
I'd be
Jasmine
down.
Crockett.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Like one thing we need to make sure, no Biden consultants, no corporate Democrat consultants, they can just go to hell. Okay.
yeah,
That's what we need to have done. They are useless.
yeah,
I mean, that weird thing was going so well. And then they're like, oh, you shouldn't use that. It's being mean. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're being mean to you.
yeah. You've got rocks you can throw them.
Yeah. What the heck is wrong? I mean, oh my God. Those
Yeah.
Biden consultants are horrible people.
See, that's what's really frustrating is the Democrats have a reputation of snatching defeat from the jaws
From
of
the
victory.
jaws of victory.
You know,
100%. Totally agree. I'm hoping that if they do Tim Walz and somebody else, no corporate Democrat, no, I don't want any consultants. I want them just unleashed. No
yeah,
consultants at all. Please. No consultants. Don't waste your money on them. They are useless. You know what to do.
yeah,
They know what to do. Let
yeah.
them do it.
I don't know if, I mean, with possible the exception of Bernie, I don't know any other, politician who had his, thumb on the pulse of
Yes.
America as good as Tim Walz did. I mean,
True, true. And did you
and he
notice?
spoke in a way that
Yeah.
everybody could relate to. Everybody
Yeah.
freaking loved him, you
So
know?
true. So true. And then did you notice like Bernie is getting crowds up the wazoo right now
Yep. On
doing
his
this anti-oligarchy tour. And
yeah.
also, here's the thing, I'm liking the good Democrats going to Republican places because their Republican representatives are scared to do town halls. They're like, okay, we'll do a town hall
And we'll
with
do
you.
them. Yeah.
What the heck? I thought that was great. But I
Yeah.
think I think what's happening is like here's the problem with Republicans in general. Until they get affected with something negative, they don't see what they're doing is wrong. And that's a problem. That non-empathetic nature of Republicans, that's a problem. You need to be able to see what's going on. And if something is wrong, it's wrong, and it could happen to you. That's the way I think of things. And I think that's the way you think of things as well. Like, hey, oh my God, these people lost healthcare. Hey, that could happen to me. We need to do whatever it takes to make sure everybody gets healthcare. That's the way you and me think. But Republicans don't think like that. And that's a
until
problem. This
until if at all
non-empathy.
it finally affects them.
Exactly. This non-empathy is a big problem. You need
Yes.
to know, you need to feel things from other people's, whatever they're going through in order to make sure that you understand and see what it takes to make sure it doesn't eventually hurt you. But doing this non-empathetic way that's, oh, it's hurting them, but it's not hurting me, so it's fine. That's not good,
Yeah. Well,
you know,
right now we're being led by a bunch of psychopaths, who
who
know
are non-empathetic.
nothing about empathy,
Yeah,
and they're
zero
trying to
empathy.
make us a psychopathic society, effectively.
Exactly, exactly. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next, but this non-empathy is a problem. That's a problem within American society because
Yeah.
I think that's what led to what happened now. This non-empathy is pretty much gone from US, I feel sometimes.
And this is where, like, when you talk about, just going back to, talking about capitalism and it,
Hmm.
having, no morals,
Yes,
whatsoever, and this, hyper individualism, it's like they're trying to turn this into a jungle where it's like every
right,
person, for himself, just
right.
sit back, and watch them all kill each other.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem within American society. I think, and I think I kind of blame that education got more expensive as being a problem that led to this, you
Oh,
know,
absolutely. And now
so
they're trying to axe the DOD,
yeah. Oh my God.
which, by the way, I think that will
Oh,
be a great. Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
You said DOE, right?
Department of Education. Sorry,
Yeah, DOE.
DOE is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Department of Energy.
yeah,
My bad.
yeah,
But that I think
yeah.
would be a great topic for
Uh-huh.
next time because we
Yes,
are almost out of time.
yes.
So
Sounds good.
this is
Awesome.
where we say, please like and subscribe,
Like and
and
subscribe.
thank you very much for your support. It's
Yes,
always because of viewers like yourselves that
yes.
we are able to continue making this content. And I did it again. I thought I had another thing to say, and I oh, of course, actually, I did. It's the usual. Thank you very much
Yes.
for watching and or listening,
Yes.
and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.